Today we explore the Hellfire Ramparts and look at the secret zone that exists within the instance. It's no secret that the Hellfire Ramparts lay within the Hellfire Peninsula, but did you know that you can secretly traverse the zone itself? Blizzard developers did not want you to be able to do this, but they added demon hunters to the game, so we're going to anyway. As someone who started playing in the Burning Crusade, Hellfire Ramparts was my very first dungeon in the expansion. As a tank, it was terrifying and quite difficult, but I did survive. After a few deaths, I survived. Now, after God only knows how many years, but this time it's not to tank the instance, instead, we're uncrafting this place. The first step in uncrafting this place is getting there. Easy, go to Shattrath City from your capital portals, then head over to Hellfire Peninsula. Alternatively, you can go through the Dark Portal, but it may take a few minutes longer. After you arrive in Hellfire, you just need to head to the Ramparts. Now that you're here, the next step is to find out how to get out of bounds. You can actually jump off the edge when fighting Omar the Unscary, but no matter how far I flew out of the map, it always just teleported me out of the instance. Kinda lame. With the almighty Exploration Demon Hunter though, there was a will, and I found a way. Here's how to perform the glitch. At the beginning of the instance, you'll see these massive spikes. Of course, we are able to jump on top of them, and then you can use Metamorphosis or some other, if you're not a Demon Hunter, which you should be, you can use some other jumping ability as well to gain just slightly more height. I'm pretty sure that this breaks through an invisible barrier, but we can now jump into the Hellfire Peninsula itself. There you go, that's how to begin exploring a secret zone within the Ramparts. The rest of this video was recorded at the time of discovery and contains my genuine reactions. Enjoy. Before we start though, I do want to shout out Senpai the Explorer, who has actually covered this instance already on her channel. Check out her video. We just jumped down from that ledge up there, so this is actually going to be the first time I'm kind of live recording as I go through an exploration for the very first time. Now, I have seen Senpai the Explorer's exploration on this. It's a very good video, check that out. However, this is the very first time that, oh my gosh. Okay, so there's a tower there. Anyway, this is the very first time that I've ever done this instance myself. And so I'm just going to go through this. It looks like there is an invisible wall here, which is quite unfortunate. And so yeah, we're going to be exploring the Hellfire Peninsula that is within the Hellfire Ramparts. Yeah, I've never seen this before. I watched her video real quick before this, but this is the first time that I've ever done this exploration myself. So this is going to be a very massive area to explore. So if I miss anything, you guys will have to let me know. I'm going to just travel south. Now, I'm sure that the map looks very similar to how it actually does in game. I wish I could fly because this is going to take quite a while. You know, I do want to see what this place looks like. So it looks like we're coming up here on an invisible wall, or an invisible, I don't know what you'd call this. Let me get a map of Hellfire Peninsula up so I can kind of see what I'm looking at here. Okay, is this Expedition Armory? Is that what this is? I'm not entirely sure. It's I mean I've quested in Hellfire Peninsula many times in my World of Warcraft lifetime, I guess. It's almost been a lifetime. It's been over half my life. But yeah, I remember this Zeppelin here. There's some goblins. You can do some questing there. So I think that this is just a little tiny hub in and of itself. It does look like the official map ends right here, though. I'm not going to go any farther south for now. Instead, we're going to go along this border, and we're going to look at some, we're going to go as far as we can until we hit that invisible wall, and then we'll go past the invisible wall later on. I'm not going to do that just yet. So if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, typically when I find an out-of-bounds area, I kind of explore it, depending on how the instances, I explore it many different ways. If I have a big map like this, I typically pick a direction and start in that direction, and then I go into all the other directions to find out what is actually going to be the most interesting exploration. In this case, I decided to go south, and I think it was a good idea. There's tons of ruins here. Obviously, this stuff exists on the normal map, but we're obviously not on the normal map here. This is clearly an out-of-bounds area. So there are some out-of-bounds areas where, you'll see a building on the edge here, but it'll be close to where the map is cut completely off, and it'll actually, you'll actually get stuck. But here, we can actually walk in this floating building here, and it's not really going to hurt us because this is technically not the edge of the map. This is just the edge of the cliff. And so there's a massive cliff there. So I thought that's very interesting. We are going to continue on. It's kind of hard to navigate these areas without like a good idea of, or without having an extra map on the side there, because I kind of can't tell exactly where I'm going. I know Hellfire Peninsula very well, but it's really disorientating when you don't have an actual map to kind of guide you. So you can clearly see that now this is a little different than most out-of-bounds areas. There's a divide. There's a massive divide there, which is actually something I don't think I've ever seen, such a stark divide in the map there. So that is something I'll have to keep in mind to check on whenever I come back. I'm going to turn my mic down a little bit because I was getting some peaks there, which I don't want to get peaks in my audio. I've been working on that. It looks like there's the Alliance. Is that Honor Hold? Yeah, it's Honor Hold. And it looks like it's got a few things just past Honor Hold on the eastern side. So we're now going to travel up the eastern side of the map to see what's all out here. It looks like is that like a little... I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like there's like a triangle cut out of the map there. So that'll be something I'll also have to make note of and look at later on as well. So with this different recording style, you guys might hear additional like impurities in the audio. I don't have a perfect audio setup right now. I'm actually just in a computer room with a very basic setup. Obviously, YouTube is not my primary source of income, and therefore I can't afford a fancy setup. And so you're gonna hear a little bit less controlled environment than whenever I just do a normal recording. We'll check out this tower. There's this huge wagon here. That is massive. Oh, how many horses would you need for that? God dang. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Dark Portal is in this. That's kind of sad. I really wish the Dark Portal was. That'd be really cool to see it. However, Honor Hold is in here, and the pathway to the Dark Portal is there as well. So before I go into Honor Hold, which will be a little montage, I'll do a montage of that. If you look at the Hellfire Ramparts, it looks absolutely insane. Like, this is crazy. It's just like a hole right there where the rampart should be. And that's because when they make the outer world, and I've told you a little bit that World of Warcraft is kind of a lie, the way that we look at it. So on the outer map, you'll see a castle, and it'll be kind of small, and then you go inside the instance, and it's absolutely massive. Well, that's because the actual World of Warcraft map is very, very large. If you read the books, the map will just be completely huge. And it'll be like, oh, that takes 3 days to get here. Whenever you're flying, though, in the game, it only takes 10 minutes. The scale of World of Warcraft is actually much, much larger. Okay, so what I'm hearing now, I think you can... Is it Hellfire Peninsula music? Am I imagining that? It's kind of hard to tell because I am talking. Normally I'm just listening to the exploration. I can't remember what the music in Hellfire Ramparts is, so if it's not different music, then I apologize. But I think it's Hellfire Peninsula music. Now, when we travel into this barracks here, the music clearly changes as the music is still linked to the instance. So I thought that was cool. Also, I forgot to close this. Boom, it's closed. Every time I close the game and log back in, it comes back up, and I forget to take that off. Some people have commented and pointed that out, but I'm sorry. It's a mistake. Okay, here's something here that you got to be careful of. If you're ever going to go into a basement of a building, be very careful when you're in an out-of-bounds area because a lot of the underground textures are not rendered. Same with caves and stuff like that. Just be very careful. But you'll look right here. You can actually see the little pieces of the interior, which I've actually never seen this view before. So that's really cool. Unfortunately, we cannot get a very good glimpse of the basement. So how am I going to get out of here? Okay, so I need to go that way. I'm just going to be very careful not to... There we go. Okay, we're back. All right, so I'm just going to go upstairs and check that out, see if there's any weird stuff, like maybe a painting that shouldn't be there or painting missing, something like that. Just because I like to be very thorough in my explorations. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of skip ahead. I'm going to show off the rest of Honor Hold, and you guys can view that while I enjoy just the exploration itself. So feel free to skip the montage if you don't really want to see it. A quick note I want to make whenever I'm in this inn that's actually very interesting. Typically in an out-of-bounds inn, the inn is still synced up and still plays music. This inn has absolutely no music, which is actually very different. I thought I'd point that out before I continued on with the montage. Okay, well, now that we're done with that little montage, we're going to continue on, and we're going to go we're gonna keep going north on the eastern side of the map. Oh, look at that. One General Hellfire Ramparts. Okay, so what were we in then before? Hold on, let me go investigate this real quick. It's really strange. It just randomly said change channel. Okay, left channel. Oh, I'm actually in a place where there's no chat log. That's actually pretty interesting. I don't see that very often when I'm doing these explorations. All right, let's continue. Okay, so if you've ever quested in the Hellfire Ramparts, you should be very familiar with this little section right here. I'm pretty sure it's called the Path of Skulls or something similar to that. I'm not entirely sure, but this is a huge quest hub for the starting area. Like, I mean, there's so many quests in this whole area. I'm gonna get pretty close to the Hellfire Ramparts. Oh, it freaked me out. I'm gonna get pretty close to the Hellfire Ramparts here. Hopefully it doesn't like get me stuck behind an invisible barrier or anything. That would be very unfortunate. But if you look here, you can actually see the underneath, you can see the underside of the instance, which I thought is very interesting. There's the portal there, and you've got all of this, you know, extra stuff here. Very cool, very interesting. And then if you keep going on here, typically there's a giant wall here, but there is no giant wall here in this case. But I do want to keep going, and I want to see. Okay, so typically Magtheridon's lair, the raid, is down here. There is no instance of that raid in this case, which is very interesting. Yeah, we don't have to bother with that. I am going to travel down the rest of the Path of Skulls. Again, I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to travel to the very end of it to see just kind of what it feels like, what it looks like, and I'll meet you guys at the end there. Also, fun little note, did you ever notice that the Horde side is all lit up and the Alliance side is nothing? Sorry, Alliance, you get screwed over quite a bit. Though I do like Alliance. I mean, I used to be an Alliance character all the way up until Cataclysm, and then I started playing Horde. Okay, so when we get to the very edge, this is what it looks like. You can see all the little shadows there, which is quite interesting. I like seeing that. And so now we're gonna go ahead and head up to the Horde area, which I think Thrallmar is here. And I actually did remember that pretty easily. The Honor Hold one I'm pretty sure I'm right about, but I haven't played an Alliance character in Outlands in a long time. So anyway, this little tower is still here, which is interesting. I think there's like a quest giver over here or something. I can't remember exactly. And so yeah, Thrallmar is here as well. So we're gonna do the same thing we did on the Alliance side and do a little montage. So if you want to skip this, feel free to, but otherwise enjoy. Okay, quick note during this montage. This, interestingly... Sorry, I'm getting a drink of soda. This, interestingly, has the Horde tavern music, whereas the Alliance one did not have the tavern music, so that's very interesting. I guess when they were making this, whoever made it really liked the Horde a lot. So I thought I'd point that out, and let's continue on. It seems like it is same for the commander's office as well. Okay, that's it for Thrallmar. So I'm going to head down to this little cave there. Now, if you're in Hellfire Ramparts, there is a little tiny quest giver down here. There's a little goblin. And as I mentioned before, you can't go into a lot of underground areas. Though the cave is loaded, it's just not, the empty space behind this mountain is not loaded. So it's kind of a weird thing. But yeah, you can easily see there the cave itself, what it's supposed to look like. Let's continue on. Okay, so we've covered the entire Horde and Alliance areas. Let's continue on and see what else we can find. We're now going to be heading towards the western side of the map. Right now we're in the north, but we're going to be heading towards the west. Really wish that I could fly here. That'd be so convenient. We could pretty easily jump around these mountains here. Demon Hunters make exploration so easy, guys. So if you're not the best exploration class, I don't know what to tell you other than you should be it. What is this place called? The Pools of Aggonar. So yeah, this is actually a really interesting looking area. You'll see these bubbles popping. There's actually supposed to be like fell water here, and there's clearly not any fell water here. So I thought that was really cool. This was featured in Senpai the Explorer's video. You know, again, I recommend seeing that video, but she showed this part off as well. But I think that this right here is pretty incredible. I mean, look at that. Like, I know that obviously this exists in game too, but there's a bunch of like enemies and a bunch of stuff all around, like a bunch of platforms and stuff. But in this Audubon's area, it's just the skeleton. Only the skeleton remains here. Let's see if I can get on top of him. No, I gotta be careful. I've never done this. Okay, good. His body is solid. Now that we've, you know, kind of gotten all the views out of this guy that we could possibly ever want, let's now head on to a different part of the map. Let's see. The Maghar post should be up here somewhere, I think. Let me see if I can find it on this map. So we'll kind of finish up at the Pool of Aggonar. There's not much else to see here, other than those bubbles popping, which are pretty interesting. Well, okay, after a bunch of parkour and a bunch of mountain climbing, I'm finally at the top of the mountains. Yeah, that was a bit intense. So I'm gonna go check out, see if that Thrallmar village is in fact over here. So hopefully it is. And unfortunately, I think that it's a no-go. I do not think that the Thrallmar village is located in this instance. That is unfortunate, but it is kind of cool to see this upper area. So it wasn't a complete loss of time here. Let's move on, shall we? I keep looking at my map as if it's going to show me something, and obviously it's never going. I'm going to jump all the way down here to the very far western side, and we're going to take a look at these defense towers, because these are actually PvP areas in the Hellfire Peninsula. So if you've never played Burning Crusade, basically there were PvP objectives on the maps, which in all honesty, like a lot of people say like, oh, world PvP's been dead since flying. No, not the case. You know what? In Burning Crusade, that was the first expansion I played. I had more world PvP in Burning Crusade than I did in any other expansion because of these little towers here in Hellfire Peninsula and other places. They were actually fun. You would actually fight people. Like, you would actually fight the Alliance or the Horde, whichever, you know, obviously the opposite faction of you. And it was just fun. It was very like a casual world PvP. I just tried to fly there as if I was actually in Hellfire Peninsula. Also, now when I open up the map, it just shows me the generic world map, which is weird, but okay, that's fine. Okay, so if you look at this one's kind of interesting. It actually has like an underground little entrance here. Like, see, these little PvP things, they were just interesting. In Hellfire Peninsula, you can actually go through there and you can get like underneath the base. Really cool. Like, I remember having so much anxiety, like trying to take one of these, and it's just freaked me out. But obviously there really isn't any world PvP anymore, which is kind of sad. Yeah, so these are, I think all three of them, it looks like, yeah, definitely all three of them are here. Yeah, so all three of these PvP objectives are here. Man, I'm stuck. Now, normally I'd say there's no water under this bridge. That's kind of weird. But we're in Hellfire Peninsula, and there's literally no water in Hellfire Peninsula. So these bridges are just generic bridges. They've always been like this. Okay, so here's the third defense tower. It's still pretty much intact. You'll obviously notice that the flagpoles that are normally there are not there, which that makes perfect sense. Why would they be? By the way, there is a mine on this side of the Alliance place. I hadn't been there. I haven't quested there in so long that I kind of forgot it was there. But I'm not going to really go back there. I really feel like that's unnecessary because it's not going to be traversable. Now, I'm going to try to just kind of explore a little bit. I'm going to go backtrack a little bit towards the Alliance area because... Oh, wait, no, this is actually where we started. Okay, so that's where we started there. So we're not going to go back that way. My bad. We're going to go down into this area here. This is a questing little questing area right underneath Falcon Watch. I don't know if Falcon Watch is here. It might just be too far out of range. But this area has a bunch of, I don't know what to call them. Like little bug dudes. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you what to call them. Looks like there's a cave here. And of course, you cannot go into the cave, as per usual. Okay, it does not look like Falcon Watch is here. I am going to climb up this mountain, though, just to get a look around, see... Oh, gosh. But I am going to look around and just take a look up here real quick. Okay, so after exploring these mountains, I don't think there's anything up there. So, here's the thing, guys. There's only one place else to explore. And that, my friends, is the abyss below. Bye-bye, cruel world. My guy looks so freaking ridiculously goofy. It's insane. I hate these helmets in Shadowlands. Anyone else hate these helmets? Like, these are freaking ugly looking. But these swords? Yeah, I can get used to that. Those look pretty cool. Oh my goodness, this is a very long drop. Wow. Oh my gosh, am I gonna die with how far this is? I'm pretty sure this is probably gonna kill me just because I'll be below the... Wait, there's a whole platform out here. What the heck? I ain't ever seen that before. That is new. Well, actually, I take that back. When I did the Magister's Terrace, there was also a giant wall in the very far background. So this is only the second time I've seen that. The one in the Magister's Terrace was theoretically cooler because there's actually like a whole gigantic entire pit, but this one is just a pit. That one had like water and all kinds of stuff. It was really interesting, actually. Dang, this is huge. I have a feeling I might die before I hit the ground here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't die. I'm actually shocked. Look at that. Holy frick. Okay, this look at this pit here. So we're gonna go over check that out in a minute, but look at this. Jeez. This is insane. You guys know what we have to do. You guys already know what we have to do. That's right. It's time for the selfie potion glitch. Wow. Look how far away this goes. Insane how massive of an area this is. That is insane. Sorry guys, I'm just blown away by that. Let's see what this pit actually looks like. I'm a little nervous. Wow. That's crazy. I have a feeling I'm gonna... You know what? I'm not gonna get any closer. I'm not gonna get any closer until the very end. Okay, let's continue onwards, and we're just gonna see how far this goes. I know it goes pretty far. This wall... I'm sorry, this wall... It's just insane how massive this is. We're gonna just follow this wall. Obviously, I'll be skipping and cutting ahead. This might end up being a montage. I'm not sure yet. We will find out. We're on the more northern side of the map. You could see this is the far north side of the instance, and this is the northern side of this white part here. There's the wall we were talking about earlier. There is another gap on this side It looks like it's just as big. This is insane, guys. I don't know what possessed the Blizzard team to put this in there. It could just be like, maybe there's like a limit on how big the tile size can be, so they just combined like 2 or 3 tiles and just, you know, it created this huge gap here. I think that's so freaking cool that they did that. You know, maybe it's not cool to them, but it creates this cool rift, and then if you get out of bounds and you explore it, it looks like this. So cool. I'm gonna jump over this. I don't know why, but I'm like super nervous, even though it's not a very big gap. Okay, like imagine if they put an invisible wall right here and you just smacked into it and had to fall. Oh, I'd be so mad. I'd hopefully be able to hit Vengeful Retreat before that happened. But anyway, back to the nothingness. Okay, so we are now completely on the northern side of the entire map, and now we're going to be traveling eastwards. There's not you know, you guys didn't miss much. There's not a whole lot over here. There's no more gaps or anything, so we're just going to be heading east now to see if there's anything else interesting over here. Okay, and we are now at the eastern side of the map, and again, it's just an empty plain, so nothing to look at here, and I'll meet you on the southern side of the map. Okay, guys, and now that we are at the southern edge of the map, you guys know what we have to do next. There's only one thing left.
Dragons!
That's all for today's UnCrafting. You just finished watching the secret zone inside of the Hellfire Rampart. If you're still around, consider subscribing and joining the UnCrafters. Otherwise, liking the video is another great way to support the channel.